This is a Hot Pie Media original.
Steve, if you don't have kids, hang in there. I have a lot. My frame of reference almost is entirely on children's programming. I don't have a whole lot of expertise outside of a few things. Very, very few things. I don't have any expertise when it comes to pop culture, but I do know a lot about kid shows. I know a lot. So hang in there. Steve from Blues Crew. No, I was about to say Booze Cruise. I've got a Freudian slip. Steve from Blues Clues has a message. I know you're probably thinking, wait, why does Steve from Blues Clues have a message? Just so you know, Blues Clues was launched, and it was a pretty good run, and Steve left. It was launched on September 8, 1996. So we're celebrating the 20th anniversary.
I mean, we started out with clues, and now it's what? Student loans and jobs and families, and some of it has been kind of hard. You know? I know you know. And I wanted to tell you that I really couldn't have done all of that without your help. I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you. Ever. And I'm super glad we're still friends. Thanks for listening.
You guys.
What the hell was that? What was that? Why did he do that? Why are you saying those things to us, Steve? Steve, he's got a hat now. He's wearing the green shirt, the khakis, the very, very large pleated khakis. He's trying to not look like he's, 42. Why are you doing that, Steve? Why did you invade that child's space with talk about student loans? Okay, why'd you do that? What is going on? I'm amazed at this. I had to talk to my kids about it. In fact, actually, it was first mentioned to me by one of my kids. Hey, one of the older ones said, wow, what's Steve doing, Dad? And I said, I don't know. What is Steve doing? Are they trying to make Blues Clues for 35-year-olds? Why did Steve do this to us? Who came up with that idea about Steve? Does this mean Steve is back on Blues Clues? Student loans? Who mentioned student loans on a kid's show? What was he going to talk about next? His addiction and losing his, getting a divorce and then not being able to pay his taxes and getting COVID? I mean, how depressed would you like to make us, Steve? I just want to see the mailbox in blue and the clock. And you start talking about student loans, you jackass. He left. He left to go into a band. Apparently that didn't work out so well. But Steve, go away. Don't ever talk about that stuff again. Sing the song, man. Don't do that to us. It was a very weird moment. The mailbox, the show, I think the show was well done. I think the show was cute. The mailbox was really cute. We had mail. He would sing a horrible song. I mean, most parents, you pour a cup of coffee and that's the first thing in your head every day. We know it. The mailbox was cute. The blue dog was catchy. It was a really, really good run of shows. I don't know right now if Blues Clues is still with us. I know it sucks because Steve ruined it because he had to talk about student loans and STDs and stuff. And oh man, you were there for me when I couldn't pay my taxes. Boy, you were there for me when that damn lawyer, they filed paperwork against me. I got a divorce. Whew. You were there with me the first time I did crack. I mean, what is Steve going to drop it all on us? But it was good. Yes, of course, it's made me think. And yes, of course, it makes me bring back that frame of reference for all of you for generations. I have a lot of kids, generations of Ward kids. So it goes it goes like this. Because I can piece together the years, the shows, and the songs. And yeah, Blue's Clues was in there, and I'm okay with it. There's one show that I'm not okay with, but just give me a second, because it's the most horrific thing ever created, and I hate the child on there, and I hate to say that. So Blue's Clues was a really good run of shows. I don't know what's out there right now necessarily. I've got some that are past this stuff. We're on to other issues. So let's see. There was, as many of you know, there was, of course, the acid trip. I mean, the full-on acid trip of Teletubbies. I started there. Bouncing up and remember when you have the baby, you ever have the fitness balls, you bounce up and down. That's what you figure out any way you can to bounce up and down. You bounce up and down. I just remember like it was yesterday, bouncing up and down to this acid trip. And like I thought I'd watch 5 minutes, and next thing I know, the sun is coming up. It had been 6 hours.
1.
And I don't do acid. Never have done acid.
2.
That's an acid trip.
2. 3.
Starts with Teletubbies.
4.
Thomas, oh yes, and then I end up in Thomas the Tank Engine, which was about 8 months of my life. And finances, by the way. Anybody remember Thomas the Tank Engine? You should. I do. I remember every moment. I went to a Thomas the Tank Engine convention and spent about $400. Oh, Thomas. Thomas was like, man, what a message show. Created by, I believe, a minister. Thomas. People don't know this. Well, maybe you should. Let me lecture you again. This is my only area of expertise, so deal with it, because I'm going to get to the bad one. I'll get to the devil. But Thomas the Tank Engine had the ultimate A-list voiceovers. I remember one of the many times, again, goes on when you have kids, this is what's in your mind. And you have the Thomas the Tank Engine set. And of course, every 7 minutes, you lose one of the engines and somebody freaks out. But it had the ultimate A-list voiceovers. Anybody know who they were? Pretty good list. George Carlin. I remember hearing one day, I'm thinking, pouring the coffee. There's one of the tank engines, flies across the house, hits another kid. Wait a minute, is that George Carlin? Immediately go to the Googles. Another time. Wait a minute. That sounds like Ringo Starr. Ringo Starr? Yep, Ringo Starr. Alec Baldwin. I believe Alec Baldwin was in the Thomas the Tank Engine movie. It was good. So I go to the Thomas the Tank Engine conference, which if you walked in the door, you're out $500 no matter what. There are kids melting down, crying all over the place. It was like wall-to-wall Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, and kids are freaking out. It's like, that's crack for a small child in those days. I paid to take some kids on the stationary Thomas the Tank Engine out front. It doesn't move. You just sit on it. Climb on to, this is no joke, climb on to the Thomas the Tank Engine. Feeling like a good dad. Kids are giggling. Life is good. And look out the window. Oh my God, Leslie Cochran is in a thong. That Leslie. I mean, you could hear everybody on the tank engine who had paid to get on there, because you're not going anywhere. You're just sitting there. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, every parent trying to, look over here, son, look over. How about this? And we're doing the best we can. So there goes $400 in my day of Thomas the Tank Engine. You move past that, of course, then you realize years later you bought the tank engine track and now it's all broken and you want to get rid of it and blah, blah, blah. It's from hell. It's from hell. I'd probably still have those in the seat of my car somewhere. I've got a Thomas the Tank Engine. Then you moved, let's see, then there was... was it Bob the Builder in there, or was it Blue's Clues? Somewhere in there was, I think it was Bob the Builder, had that phase. Bob the Builder phase. Bob.
Check, tool belt check, hard hat check. Bob the Builder, can we build it? Bob the Builder, yes we can. Scoop, muck and
These
lock
shows and the songs almost become your alarm, right? It just takes over your mind.
working together, they get the job done.
Bob was cool. I never quite understood the relationship with Wendy. I don't know what her deal was. I thought they might have the sexual thing going on, but, I don't know. This is what a life you live when you're a parent all the time. You try to figure stuff, this is all you have. You try to figure out if they like each other. And it was little construction equipment having fun. Wendy was his sidekick, or I don't know what her story was. So then you have Blue's Clues in there, too. The Blue's Clues, then probably SpongeBob, right? You moved your way to SpongeBob. All these for 20-somethings and 30-somethings, it's what they smoke pot to now. Teletubbies and SpongeBob. SpongeBob is the stoned version of Teletubbies. You just get stoned and laugh at SpongeBob. SpongeBob was brilliant. The guy just died recently. Interesting story. What a run that was.
I can't hear you.
That's a bunch of dudes getting high. That's what that is.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
Brilliant concept. In my opinion, as a parent,
Be something you wish.
a little too much screaming. It was getting a little loud. There was the most bizarre acid trip episode where they keep looking in a cardboard box and hearing horrific sounds. Like, that's not for my kid. What are you guys doing? The next thing I know, I'm caught up in it. It's like watching a Full Metal Jacket or something. So then you got SpongeBob is thrown in there. Then my kids moved on to what I really nerded out on. This is what, we would have time together. Justice League, and then there was a Barbie show mixed in there. One. So there's that kind of that process. So that's over the last 20 years, right? For anybody, the last 20 something years of kids TV shows. But thrown in there, and this is where I'm sorry to offend you, but I'm going to save you. I'm going to save you from something so horrific and so contagious and despicable. I believe it's the worst television show ever created, a kid's show or otherwise. I believe this is the worst character ever involved in any sort of television creation that I can think of. I believe that the child is a horrible human being. And I'm getting pretty dramatic now. He is a lying, deceiving, drug-pushing, obnoxious, murdering child. In that mix of the last 22 years, and I feel sorry for anyone that had to experience this like I have and many of you, and I know if you've experienced it, you have the same reaction. We can talk about a lot of these kids shows and their impact and their morality and the messages sent. All that stuff. I get it. And they are usually, in Blue's Clues is one of them, they are typically well done and the messages are healthy. Okay? Not Caillou. Caillou is a punk-ass, horrible human being. That's what I have to say. Caillou is your worst experience on TV. And he was in that mix of that 20 years. And I tell you what I did. I heard about 3 episodes and I said, get away, kids. Get away.
You're getting to be a big boy.
That jackass, sorry punk.
I'm just
Murdering
a kid
punk.
who's bored. Each day I grow
He's
some
killed
more
4
fun,
people,
like
you know that?
I'm Caillou. So many things to do. Each day is something new. I'll share them with you.
Everything
I'm
about this show
Caillou.
was meant to disturb you and hurt you. Thankfully, I don't know about the rest, thankfully you've saved your kids. Because that punk-ass kid, that song by itself makes you want to stab yourself. And 5 people they've killed themselves watching the show.
Caillou, Caillou, I'm Caillou.
Caillou is a lying punk-ass, I'm telling you. He's a liar, he's obnoxious, he's a whiner. And I don't know how old he is now, but I guarantee you he's killed somebody. I bet he killed his neighbor.
Caillou, Leo, you have to get ready now, Leo. Your parents are here to pick you up.
Mom, don't let Leo near that punk ass.
River.
That kid,
I know.
get away from him, Leo.
To Grandma's.
He's horrible.
I want to stay and play with Leo.
I'm sorry, Caillou, but we really have to go now. I have to take Rosie to the doctor for a checkup, and you're going to visit Grandma.
Caillou was very disappointed that he couldn't stay and play in the backyard.
Yeah, he
with
was
Leo.
stealing stuff from Leo.
Hello, Caillou.
He'd go to his grandmother's house and he's mean to his grandmother. He'd steal stuff from her too.
He could have kept playing with Leo.
Would you like to go out and play in the backyard? Is there something upsetting you today?
I wanted to stay at home with Leo.
You have fun playing with Leo, don't you?
He's my friend.
No, you killed him,
Is there
punk.
something else you would like to do?
Hey, God, this show is just unbelievably obnoxious. It really was. There's entire, not long ago I found this entire Twitter thread of people flipping out about hating Caillou. One, the song is paralyzing. Two, he's a whiny, lying piece of trash. Sorry. I'm sorry. Disagree with me. Go ahead, fight with me. I'll fight with you all day about Caillou. If you believe in that kid, you've got problems. We got to jail you. That kid is on a collision course for mass murder. He was mean to his sister every episode. I would just sit there and watch and go, what the hell? He's stealing stuff from his sister and crying about it. Felt sorry for his parents. Should have sent that kid away a long time ago. Leo, the kid in the sandbox, he killed him 2 episodes later. Killed him. Just beat him to death in the sandbox and buried his body. Sorry, I know it's weird. That show, I hope, is canceled and canceled for good. No kid should be exposed. No adult, nobody should be exposed to that thing. John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce in all 50 states, now in several retail outlets as well. So we're going to turn it over to the social media rock chef superstar, and we're going to walk through a few sauces and why you should buy. We've done beet heat, so we're second in line now for the tasting. Don't forget, everyone, go to atxhotsauce.com. So here we go.
All right, so this one is our smoked habanero 5-pepper. We smoke habaneros with ancho,
Is that going to hurt?
This one? No,
Yeah.
This one's actually really, really good.
Okay.
This is like your traditional tapatía, but without the vinegar in it, right? And because of that fermentation process that we've talked about all the time. This one is great on sandwiches, pizzas, things like that. Great on hot wings. I think you're going to really like this one too, especially the smoky flavor with the adobe chipotle and the smoked habaneros. We actually smoked the habaneros before we.
Does that go with the cab?
This would not go with the cab. This would go with the great Chenin Blanc, though.
I teed you up with that one.
Yeah, yeah.
That is good. That's
Yeah,
good.
isn't that good? It's just classic take. Well, it's a new take on a classic item. So it's called smoked habanero 5-pepper.
All right, don't forget
One of my
ATX.
favorites.
Don't forget atxhotsauce.com. Name a. This is pretty funny on a number of levels. Name a washed, and you can do better than me, but name a washed up actor that has embraced their old role and made it their life. I don't know about. I'm trying to find a better way to say this. It may be pathetic. I mean, we can come up. I think we can do plenty of examples. So let me just try to help you along on this, because I think it's kind of fascinating. Has been. You can say washed up, has been, whatever you want to say. And then that person, is stuck in that role forever. Henry Winkler made it out of being Fonzie. Adam West never made it out of being Batman. Bob Denver never made it out of Gilligan. Don Wells never made it out of Marianne, right? So then they end up in their life. Jerry Mathers, I don't know what, I could be wrong on this. I don't know that Jerry Mathers later in life, hopefully he's still with us, I don't know. Jerry Mathers was the Beaver. I suspect late in life he was still going to shows and signing Beaver Cleaver trading cards. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That they are just identified by that character. And it sticks with him for life. I mean, Ron Howard, is a brilliant guy. I mean, he became a movie maker, but he would have been Opie forever. I mean, it's hard to get out of that role, isn't it? So I give you Mark Hamill. This guy's embraced it. He's owning it. He is living it. He wasn't going to get out. And he's saying, it's okay. I'm going to do it the rest of my life. I got to believe a lot of them. I don't know. I don't know the story. I assume it's depressing. I could be way off. I assume Bob Denver wanted to do something else besides be Gilligan. And then probably there he is at some card show or some Comic-Con or, some movie premiere. All the kids on the Brady Bunch. I'll bet you they all wanted to be something else one day, and now they're just a wreck. Right? Not Mark Hamill. He is the example of how to live it and own it forever. So Mark Hamill, he is apparently so remember not long ago, I think this is brilliant. I mean, this just goes to show you, this guy's just said, you know what, I'm not going to be able to do anything else. That's me. I'm attached to my Star Wars time, and that's the way it's always going to be. I mean, Harrison Ford got out of it. Chewbacca, not so much. But remember, he once read Donald Trump tweets as the Joker's voice, which is funny. But here's the story. Mark Hamill stumbled into a theory that just tweeting his name can draw thousands of likes and become a trending topic on Twitter. He tested it. He just tweeted Mark Hamill. That's it. That's it. He uses his Star Wars and Batman fame to create multiple viral moments. Several years ago, he read out Donald Trump's tweets in Joker's voice and has also been known to post pictures of himself in disguise at Comic-Con, taking pictures with unsuspecting fans. That's kind of cool. Right? I mean, you feel like if you ever ran into Bob Denver and he had to dress like Gilligan, that you do a picture with him and he would hate every second of it. Dawn Wells as Marianne, same thing. If you're such a loser, you're such a loser that you went to the Gilligan's Island conference, like you're a Trekkie, you're a loser. But you go to the conferences, the people you're taking pictures with, they're miserable. They don't want to do that. They were hoping for something else. They thought, they thought they would be bigger than that. They thought that life would change. Jerry Mathers probably thought, you know what, my agent told me that this is not going to be me forever. And then there he is, 60-year-old Jerry Mathers sitting at a conference, signing some book for you, and he's hating every moment because he's just the beaver. Bob Denver was just Gilligan, no matter what. I bet he hated that hat. But yet, all right, I'll do a selfie. Here I am in the hat again. Not Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is just riding the wave. Remember, he made a surprise. Nerds, remember this. He made that surprise CGI-aided cameo in the season finale of The Mandalorian. Remember? Grogu. That's Baby Yoda. Right? Got some Jedi training. He was even CGI'd into that. So he tweets out just Mark Hamill, just to see what would happen. And he gets 150,000 likes in 2 hours. Just Mark Hamill. I mean, people flipped out. They're so into him being and owning the Star Wars character. Everyone's so into him on social media owning his Star Wars character that just Mark Hamill had 150,000 retweets in 2 hours. I mean, I don't even know what the number is now. I don't know why you do that. You just do it because it's like Pavlov's dog. You if you're into Star Wars, and we've got trust me, generations of us are into Star Wars. Any reference, it's cool. I don't know why you'd retweet just Mark Hamill, but you did it. 150,000 in 2 hours. I'm trying to think. Mark Hamill is the coolest example of embracing that role. Gosh, I mentioned the Brady Bunch. I mean, anyone ever make it out of that? Did anyone make it out? Did anyone ever get another job except for that? Bob Denver? I mean, the skipper? I don't know. These poor people are just stuck, hated it. He was stuck and loved it.
From the Hot Pie Media Studios in Austin, Texas, it's the Jeff Ward Show. Listen at jeffwardshow.com.